Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. Today we are setting up my bullet journal for November, and I'm quite excited to show you this month's theme because it is just one color. I created it using only two pens if we're not counting the whiteout I used to correct a mistake I made and a white gel pen. For this month, I was actually really struggling with what theme to do. At first, I wanted to do something very fall, but also Christmassy, but I am just not in the mood. I live somewhere without seasons, and right now it's burning hot outside, and I just cannot get myself to draw cozy, warm, fuzzy sweaters. So I ended up with this single color look, which I think is kind of cool. Starting with the cover page, I divided the space into 12 7x7 squares, and in each square I incorporated the letters in November with these flowers inspired designs, all done using this blue Crayola super tips. For the letters, I made them very big and bubbly, and I also made some of them solid like the letter O here just to have more variety. Looking back, I would have done it a little differently, but it is done now and I kinda like how it looks this way as well. With each of the drawing, I try to drag it out to the edge of the square so that it fills the space and you can clearly see that each element is contained in its own square. So for this flower, I made the petals in the corner super long so that it reaches the edge, and I really like this distorted look. You can still kind of tell that it's a flower, but at the same time it looks very morphed and organic. If you've watched my other videos, I think you can probably tell that the footage in this one are sped up a lot less than the other ones, and that's because this setup took less than an hour for me to set up and film. I think a big reason is the fact that I use so minimal stationery. I primarily use this Crayola for the whole setup, so I didn't have to put the pen down, pick up a new pen and all of that. I just kept on drawing, and also the spreads here are a lot more simple and minimal, which you will see as the video goes on. The cover page is probably the most busy spread. As I was drawing in all these elements, I really appreciated how nice the paper in this notebook is. I'm using the Rêverie journal from MELLOW Days, and these pages are watercolor paper, and Crayola super tips are water-based markers, so they glide on so smoothly and the paper absorbs the color so well. It was a joy to write on and kinda therapeutic. Now let's move on to the calendar page. I've been putting the calendar next to the cover page for the past few months now, and I'm also doing again for this month because I really like this layout. The calendar this month is very simple. First, I am drawing in the first letter of each day at the top in the same style as the letters on the cover page, and then I will also be filling in some of the letters. The T I drew for Thursday is a little weird. I wasn't planning on filling it in, but I eventually went back to fill it in because it was just looking kind of weird and awkward. And then I drew these horizontal lines for the calendar. This month we will just have these lines going across, so I'm just creating a row for each week instead of boxes for each day. The rows are 5 grid spaces tall, and I know we don't have any lines separating the days, but each day is 3 grid spaces across. Then I am writing in the dates in what would be the top left corner if it was an actual box. It was a little difficult to get the placement right at first, but once I had the first row in, the rest was quite easy. This month, I managed to get this video out before November starts. Yay! October setup came out super late, so I made sure that I got this video out on time for you guys. And by the way, if you want to hang out with me more often, because I only upload like once a month on this channel, I started a vlogging channel, so if you want to see more of my life, head over to my other channel. It will be linked in the description. I upload more frequently on there, and I would love to see you there as well. But that's the cover page and calendar done. We will now move on to the next spread, which is my mood tracker. My mood tracker this month is also very simple. I'm doing a vertical layout for my mood tracker, so right now I'm just writing 1 to 30 down the side. And then I'm drawing a line down next to the numbers, and for this part I switched to using a blue Sarasa clip, and as I'm drawing in these lines you might see that the ink is kind of skipping a little bit in some parts, and that is just due to the bumpy texture of the watercolor paper. When you're using a very thin pen, the ink has a tendency to skip. I don't mind it, I actually kind of like the look. It looks kind of imperfect and handmade in a way, but the bumpy texture might be a downside for some people, so I just wanted to point it out if you're looking to use this notebook for 2025. Then at the top, I'm drawing 4 little faces. I first filled in the entire circle with blue and used a white gel pen to draw in the faces, which I had to go over quite a few times for the ink to stick. So my mood tracker this month is like a horizontal bar chart, and for each day I'll just draw a bar across to each face. But other than that, this page has no other decorations. Next, we are moving on to my habit tracker, which has a bit more going on than the mood tracker, but still very simple as well. It sometimes doesn't feel right to call this page a habit tracker. Maybe just the word tracker will be a better fit, because most things I track on here aren't habits I'm trying to build, but rather things I track to see patterns and correlation. So for example, like my medication, I track it so that I can tell my doctor when I next see her if there were any days I've missed and things like that. And I usually never miss my morning exercise. It is part of my morning routine, except for those odd days where I have to leave the house super early or spend the night somewhere. I might not be able to get my workout in, so if I see on my mood tracker that I'm a bit down or cranky that day, and I see on my tracker that I missed my workout on that same day, then that's probably the reason for my bad mood. And here I'm writing in the numbers and heading for each tracker, and I just realized that both my mood and habit trackers this month don't have a title. Normally I would have like mood and habits going across the top, but I guess it didn't even cross my mind to do one for this theme, and it's a nice change, you know. The page titles don't really serve a purpose except for looking pretty and being the decorations on the page, because like I'm the one who set up these spreads. I know what each of them are without having to look at the title. Honestly, if I were to do this spread again, I think I would have moved all the elements closer together. There's a lot of space left on the page here and it's a little awkward, but I can live with it. For the medication header, I wrote it in a line too low, so I rewrote it and now struggling to fix it with a whiteout that is running out, but we eventually fixed it in the end. And that is my simple mood and habit trackers. We are moving on to the last spread of this setup, which is a combination of my tasks and shopping list. I'm drawing these flowered inspired designs again, and this time each square is 6x6 grid spaces, so they are a little smaller than what we had on previous spreads. I really enjoy drawing all the flowers this month, and I really love the look of the bold blocks of color. For August, I did something a little similar. The spreads in August were predominantly red, and I had solid blocks of reds and pinks, and I think I said in that video that this type of theme might look good with blue as well, so here I am making it in blue. I didn't include it in last month's setup video, but I later on added a tasks page because all these tasks were coming up that were like not date specific or like non-urgent things I can do whenever I'm free, or like future tasks that I don't have to do right now but I need to remember them for later, and I just didn't know where to put them, so I just titled a page tasks and had a running list of things I had to do. I found that page super helpful, so I'm bringing it to this month as well. To this page, I'm also including a shopping list, and that's because my memory cannot be trusted. I would like be running out of body wash or toothpaste, and I'm like, okay, next time I go to the mall, I'll have to pick up those things, and then when I'm at the mall, I would completely forget what I had to buy, and I would come home without any of those things, and I'll see the bottle of body wash that's running out, and I'll be kicking myself. And it just happened too many times, so it's finally time that I added a shopping list to my bullet journal. The final step is to write in tasks and shopping in this space here, and we will be done with this month's setup. Here is a flip through of all the spreads we made today. I really love the look of this theme, and I think you can recreate this with any color of your choosing. Maybe try using your favorite color. I want to say a huge thank you for spending your time with me today, and please check out my vlogging channel if you're interested. Everything is linked down below. Have a wonderful day or night. Bye!